We are
Hey,
live. Feedback Friday. What's up, Rachel?
I'm I'm doing good. What's up with you?
You know, what's funny is I actually just got back in town. I was in Beloit, Wisconsin, and I had to fly into Chicago, and then I drove to Beloit, which was about an hour and some change away, and it was snowing.
Oh wow.
and, yeah, and for context, I flew from Houston, Texas, where it was a good 75 degrees. So very different, two different worlds. But it was very cool. I flew in for the school district Beloit School District. They had a mental health family engagement event, and it was in the evening. I mean, they had community partners. They had different community providers come out. It was just a great community engagement where we got to talk about mental health, and I was fortunate to represent Seven Mindsets, and we got to talk about breaking the mental health stigma. And what was powerful for me is we don't, especially as school psychologists, do that many community events, and I think that's a untapped resource, like getting into the community, having these type of conversations. So it was a very cool experience. Glad I was able to be a part of it as well. But what's new, what's exciting with you, Rachel?
I love that there was that community side. Yeah, I don't think that that's something that I tap into. That's awesome. But yeah, speaking of mental health, I was able to visit with Jefferson City Public Schools this week. So shout out to Amelia for the invite to come out there. And we chatted about mental health on the special education side of things. So kind of when does that become special education
Yeah.
versus community therapy, or therapies and things like that. So a lot of mental health conversations this week, which has been really, really good. So
Yeah, and what I love about it is, as school psychologists, we are part of these conversations, which I believe we deeply must and should be part of any and all conversations related to mental health in schools, which is why we have schools like AI, which is a tool to free up some of our time, above and beyond report writing, which is important, but it can allow us to tap into, those other areas to meet some of those unmet needs, and even engaging and connecting, being a connector, right? And I found there's power being able to connect families with resources, because sometimes schools don't know where to go or how to find resources. So helping families to navigate that is super important. Hey, what's up? If you're watching this, send us some love. Like, please let us know where you're watching from, where you're tuned in. What did you do this week? Rachel and I, we share what we've been up to. We love to hear what you've been up to, how your week has been going. Feel free to drop that, whether you're watching in the Facebook group or on YouTube Live, and just let us know. Just check in with us as well. So, Rachel, what do we have on the agenda for today?
well, since it's Feedback Friday, this is our space to share updates on what's new with all things Sophia. So I wanted to share a little bit about where we're at with the report writer. I know that that's been a big feature that was requested a while back, and it's had a lot of momentum and something that we've spent a lot of our hours on as a team. So I'm actually going to try to share my screen. That way we can kind of show where we're at with all of the assessments that you all requested and how we're kind of chipping away at those. So I'm going to share my screen
And as
and
you pull it up, like, that's Rachel, that's so important, right? Like, we are doing everything that we can to really listen to our community, to take your feedback in a very short time, in a rapid time, make sure that we're getting these assessments stood up. And we thank you all, because we know it's not perfect. We are approaching, we're not even 6 months. March 28th will be 6 months, but we're doing everything that we can, and we're making really good progress. So, Rachel, I'm excited for you to share what we got.
okay. Are you able to see that?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
amazing. Shout out to Rachel, y'all. Can we get some claps inside the chat for Rachel? Because Rachel has done just an exceptional job with some of the designs, with working. She's working in the field, then takes time to put all the libraries together, the templates and everything, making sure it's color coded, right? We got to find a verb, adjective like it's Rachelized. I don't know. We'll come up with something. Go
Okay.
ahead, Rachel. What you got?
Yes. Well, of course, our template library is on brand because it needs to be. Okay, so for all of the assessments, I have, as they have come in on Facebook comments and on our other social media platforms, I've been trying to keep a comprehensive list. And I decided it would make a lot of sense to share that with you all. So we made this public facing page on our site that kind of gives you updates as live time as possible. As you can see, this is what is currently in the report writer as of this past Monday, the 18th, and we dropped a ton of new assessments in on Monday. So you can kind of see on this page what is live within the Sophia report writer right now. And there's some toggles because we now have enough assessments that we needed toggles on this page. But you can see all the different cognitive assessments, adaptive, academic, and social emotional behavior assessment templates that we have in there. And then this, this very long list is all of the requests that we have received. And this is kind of driving what our team has been working on so that we can respond to everyone's requests. So if you are still wanting a particular assessment, we'll drop the link to this public page when we're finished with our live so you can check it. But if you don't see one on here that you want, continue to give us feedback because I update this every week as I see more and more comments. So this is where we're at, where we still have to go, but this is where we're at.
If you're watching, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, please drop something inside the chat. Let us know you're here. What's so wild is it feels like Rachel and I like we're talking to ourselves, but then at NAS, everyone is like, "Hey, we watch your YouTube." It's like talk to us, y'all. Let us know you're here. Let us know if you're using the report writer. If you see assessments on here that you've tried, let us know, even with the list of things that we have coming up, which ones you would want to see prioritized. Rachel, if you could scroll down, I know that I've seen a good bit of requests for the NEPSI. And let's see what else, if I see anything here. The NEPSI, I've seen several requests for as well. And so, yeah, that's I would love to get the Nepsi out, the cast too. Yes, there we go. Someone says happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. Another thing, we can't see names. So sometimes it's people who I know, sometimes people who I don't know. And so if I don't shout you out by name, just know we can't see the names on our end. But happy Friday to you as well. Rachel?
All right. Yeah, I think that I see the NEPSI requested quite a bit and some early childhood assessments too. I know that sometimes since
Yeah.
I'm a K-12 practitioner, that's the lens that I'm coming from. But just the reminders like, hey, it would be great to have the DAISY or some of those
Yes.
other assessments. So we're trying to capture our early childhood school psychs also.
Yeah, a lot of early childhood too that comes through. And shout out, we love all our school sites, but definitely our early childhood folks is like, don't forget about us. We are not forgetting about you all. We got y'all. I promise. All right, Rachel, what else we got?
The ones that we are planning to release this upcoming Monday, we've got the Mask 2. I know that was something that was requested. We've got the Cephi coming out as well, and then the Beery VMI. And I know that for Byron, he was like, "I love that assessment. I used that," and um, I've never administered that assessment, so it's just funny.
Never.
Never. It's funny to see the differences and what tools we all have in our toolbox and what our preferences are, and that makes me understand why this list is so long because we all have different things
Yeah.
that we prefer. But yes, the Beery VMI will be dropping on Monday. So
Let us know in the chat. Are you administering the VMI, or is your OT administering the VMI? And I had great relationships with our OTs. Random fact: when I worked on the Maryland side, the OT was a family friend who I grew up with. She actually used to babysit me, and then we got the opportunity to work together. And so at times we would tag team. If she was busy or tied up, I would help her out and administer it, and vice versa. Sometimes she would help me out as well. And also with our SLP, shout out to our SLP community. We have a good bit of SLPs, and same thing with the CTOP. The CTOP is one of my favorite assessments, and so sometimes the SLPs would administer the CTOP. Sometimes I would administer it as well. This is very random. Shout out Mary Klotz. She made a comment in our Facebook group. She asked for the taps. I used to use the taps all the time. So it was the taps, then I would use the C-top, and then the WJ4. The WJ4 cog has really good processing clusters inside of it. And I actually shifted away from the C-top just because I could do everything inside of the WJ4 cog as well. So if you're watching, let us know inside the chat if you're using the taps, if you're using the C-top, or if you're using the WJ4 cog as well. And Rachel, did you use the WJ cog, or no? You didn't use that one, right?
no, not as much. No, not something that I regularly grabbed from our toolbox of assessments. But yeah.
All right. So what else we got, Rachel?
I mean, as we continue to build on this list, something that I think would be really helpful is just continuing to give us feedback. We've got an official assessment request form coming soon so that we can streamline that even more and not miss comments, because I know we get a ton. So we'll be having that posted as well whenever we release this public facing page. I'll share this link, and then we'll be sharing that assessment request form as well here pretty soon. But I think that's everything for Sophia Report Writer in terms of
Cool.
updates. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Very cool. Very cool. So we have the report writer. Be on the lookout Monday. We will drop that Monday evening, and you all will be able to access the new assessments that we've discussed. So, Rachel, what else you got?
That's it for the report writer side of things. I know that something that we're also going to be releasing soon are more details about professional development through School Psych AI. And so we've been working on our session list to make sure that that's all wrapped up and ready for everybody. Because I know that's something we get requests for too, is can you teach me more about how to use this particular tool and things like that.
Yeah, and we will be releasing that information very, very soon. We've already done a number of PD sessions. Shout out to our enterprise users. Our enterprise users are super, super dope. So if you're part of the enterprise, part of that was getting a 1 hour PD. And so if you missed that opportunity, but you're still looking for a professional development opportunity, we will have information on our professional developments. And I'm telling you this, there will be some others who are doing PDs, but our PDs is going to be special. You have Rachel, who does a sensational job developing the content around it. And we're tag teaming on some of those. So it's just good energy, right? Good conversations. And that's not a shot. I want to be very clear. I know that there are some people inside of our Facebook group who have trainings as well. Shout out to Rita, who's doing some trainings. There's some others who I know who are doing trainings. And I think as many people who can provide good quality information on how to use AI, best practices, like the better. It just makes us collectively better. But I will say that we have a good time in our trainings, and it's good conversations. And because we're just starting out, it's good to bring all the questions that you have. There's a lot of unknown, and we do a good job creating a space to ask all the questions and to learn. And really, that's what we hope to do. And so information will be coming out about the PDs, and then for your district, for your state association, whatever. So you do not want to miss that. Anything else on PDs, Rachel?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. So we went through Sophia Report Writer. We discussed professional development opportunities, which you do not want to miss. I'm telling you, it's going to be like, oh, and in person, right? So we'll most of it will be virtual. We'll have a professional learning series, right? So it's not a one and done, which will be very, very important. The best bang for your buck there, but also in person. So if you want me or Rachel to come to your city, to come to your district, I'm telling y'all, I just got off a plane, legit, just got off a plane from Beloit, Wisconsin, and it was cold, it was snowing. So we don't mind traveling. So let us know. Before we wrap up, man, I see we're getting more people tuned in. Shout us out. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling on this Friday? We haven't been here for a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. Just say hey, put a wave emoji in the chat. Rachel, anything but before we get out of here?
I think the only thing left that I wanted to do was shout out my Strength Based School Psych sweatshirt, Dr. Kelsey Reed with Strength Based Collective. So I love that it came in my school's colors, and I wear it a lot of Fridays. So I thought it fit, especially with our value of strength based here at School Psych AI. So that's one of my favorite things to wear on Fridays.
Very cool. Shout out to everyone on the strength based movement as well. Look, we got someone, and again, we can't see names, so forgive me for not saying calling you out by name. But hey, from Texas, I'm in Houston, Texas as well. Happy Friday to you too. Thank you for taking time out of your busy Friday to join us as well. And shout out to everyone who took time out of your Friday to stop in to check us out. Shout out to uh, we need Sophia merch.
I agree.
Yeah. The merch game is so hard though. Like it's tough. The merch game is tough because you gotta get sizes, you gotta check the quality because some vendors provide good quality, some vendors provide shirts that shrink when you put it in the washer and it fades. So merch is so tough. But we do our internal team. We got some merch. It was pretty cool. We if you were at NAS, we had a Sophia jacket. That jacket was kind of fire. Jacket was pretty cool as well. But be on the lookout. We might have some merch coming out soon. How cool would it be if we had, and this technology is emerging, envision like a lapel, it could be a flower, and you put it right here on, if you have a suit jacket, blazer jacket, and you could talk into this lapel and say, hey, Sophia, help me in this. And you're talking to Sophia in real time. Do y'all know that capability is like here? Very cool. Look, someone says, guess I'm going to have to bootleg. That's funny. We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. But look, y'all, that's our time on this Friday. Always just a great way to check in. Got to shout out our School Psych AI community. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you all, and we're striving to make your lives easier. We want you all to continue growing. We want you all to stay in the field. We know this work is hard. We know people are leaving every single day. And so you all have our pledge to work with you all to make our product better because you all deserve it. So that's all I have. Rachel, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. And if you're on spring break this week, enjoy, be safe. Until next time, take care, everyone.